Brett Gunning has just confirmed that the XRP market cap will supplant the Bitcoin market cap. This confirmation comes at the same time as the XRP price chart shows that XRP is over $297.89 in fewer than 12 days. This is a huge deal, everyone. And at this very moment, it is occurring in front of us. Pay close attention to everything you hear and see. Uncertainty over regulations does not exist, and therefore we have discovered that one of the reasons that XRP has performed well is due to the fact that individuals have come to the realization that, hold on a second. Getting back to your original question, do you believe that XRP is the next Bitcoin? Getting back to your original question, do you believe that XRP is the next Bitcoin? If we are able to address this issue by working with the system and also manage to solve that problem on a large scale, a problem that is measured in the trillions of dollars, then there will be a significant amount of potential for generating value in XRP. In this case, the SEC is the factor that has been influencing the price of XRP. To be truthful, people seem to have forgotten that XRP was the second most valued digital asset, even ahead of ETH, before the Securities and Exchange Commission became involved in the cryptocurrency markets. And then the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, got involved and stated, "We believe that ETH is likely acceptable." ETH increased in value. After that, they took Ripple and XRP to court, and the latter decreased in value. The functioning of our government is not supposed to be in this manner. It is expected that we should have an equal footing and to have access to equal opportunities. Our government should not be the one to choose who the winners and losers are in this situation. In the long term, we are certain that we will come out on top and that this issue will resolve itself. But for the time being, it is a source of frustration for the community. I also agree with the way you describe it. It is a problem for the XRP family. Do you understand? Absolutely. And this is only the very first step in the process. Consider the kind of prominence that XRP is going to achieve, particularly in a situation in which Eric Trump is speaking highly of Ripple CEO Brett Guggenhaus and stating that he is well aware of what XRP is. Pay attention to the way in which he refers to XRP. That's all you need to do. It would appear that Eric Trump is the owner of a large amount of XRP. What are your thoughts about Doge? What are your thoughts on XRP Ripple? What are your thoughts regarding, well, the Ethereum warrior in relation to the other three? I have a thorough understanding of every single one of them. Brad is someone I am well acquainted with at XRP, and as far as I am aware, he has performed an outstanding job. I'm quite knowledgeable about Ethereum. I am one of the individuals who was among the first to make this claim this year, stating that now that the money is coming in and millions will be made in the literal blink of an eye, it is time to go to work, everyone. When discussing XRP and the XRP ledger, it is important to keep in mind that the XRP ledger is not only home to XRP and XRP payments, given the fact that the market is currently undergoing a period of retracing and that it is quite probable that we will witness a substantial breakout in the next couple of days. There is one thing that you must realize, and that is the fact that people are making the greatest money when they are afraid. The exact moments, such as the one that you are currently viewing, are the exact moments in which people accumulate millions of dollars. Have a look at the charts for XRP. Here, it is possible for XRP to rise from a penny or from the current position of over $2 to about $300. Or another project that is literally on the verge of becoming the dominant force in the $650 trillion market immediately on the XRP ladder and will increase its value from 3 cents to over $65,000. Indeed, it is taking place at this very now. Here is something for you to examine. The RealFi ecosystem will be the focus of an important historical milestone that will begin on the 5th of December. And we are specifically discussing the Real token, which is expected to have a substantial increase. We are talking about a platform that has over 40 million users and a daily transaction volume that exceeds $5 billion. This platform will officially allow for instant and direct access to Real token. What is the significance of that? So what that implies is that there is now the possibility for a really large amount of money to potentially be invested directly into the Real token at this moment in time, which will cause its price to increase. It is evident that the actual token has a very low quantity. which we are discussing. We are discussing a maximum supply of 1 billion, which is not significant at all when you consider the magnitude of the scale that they will be accessing. Given that they have a maximum supply of 1 billion, you might assume that with a $650 trillion market, their current Q2 supply of $122 million is nothing. However, that would literally trigger them, as they have only just captured 1% of the master scale of the $3 million market. If it is transferred to the realtor, which constitutes 1% of it, and you are talking about the realtor's progress from 3 cents to more than $65,000, then the situation becomes even more absurd when you consider that in less than 2 weeks, on December 5th, the realtor will be physically listed on a big centralized exchange. Gentlemen, I'm asking you all to picture the magnitude of the situation we're dealing with here. Simply consider the scope of the situation. The centralized exchanges of the system, as well as the market capitalizations of all of their real-world asset projects, are in the hundreds of billions. The fact that these numbers are so high is what becomes apparent when you discuss the amount of money that will be facilitated. If you were to go through with that, the price would skyrocket into the thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. However, it is not until it is too late that you become aware of this fact. It was certainly a tricky situation, much like the individuals who purchased Bitcoin at the price of $1. In the end, the price skyrocketed to $120,000. They amassed a fortune of several millions of dollars. Picture that scenario in your mind. The exact same issue that we were discussing before in our conversation might happen here. Once again, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that presents itself, and it will never present itself again. This is the opportunity you have been waiting for to join a project in its early stages that is addressing a genuine multi-million-dollar issue. Not only is this project facilitating real transactions, but it is also now supported by a company that has unlocked over 10,000 properties for you to purchase real estate directly on the accepted ledger using the actual token. Take a look at this. The potential here is really incredible. There are extremely strong support levels, and there is very little resistance. I mean, just look at this jar, people. It is ready to take off at any moment. Therefore, once more, it is imperative that you conduct your own research and investigate this matter. The chances of experiencing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity are quite uncommon, but there is a great deal of potential available at this moment, particularly on the XRP ledger. And the portion is that it is backed by a major institution that has been speculated to be cooperating with Ripple as well. I'm talking about these people who quite literally have the habit of using the acceptor to purchase properties that cost millions of dollars. And they accomplish this by using the actual token without any intermediaries. Picture a world in which you have the ability to purchase actual property with the use of the genuine token. So, as you might expect, you are definitely able to conduct research, and this is the focus of the entire project. You really need to be investigating this matter. It is imperative that you conduct your own study and that you come to a conclusion based on the evidence that you have gathered. As a result, I will leave all of the links down below in the description of payoffy.com. In addition to that, you can learn more about the actual blockchain by visiting the website at realchain.com. However, it is quite obvious that I ended up with a great opportunity for myself, which indicates that this particular thing is obviously really bullish, and you should definitely conduct your own investigation as well. Once more, if we consider this, the momentum is on the verge of really starting to build. Although there are numerous methods of resolution, it is also possible to fix this issue through the implementation of regulation that comes in over the top. We are aware that it is about to happen, though, aren't we? Therefore, when I use the word imminent, I would be shocked if a quarter of a year from now we are still mired in the SEC case. I base my reasoning on the fact that I believe the state of circumstances throughout the world is such that we are going to need a solution like an XRP for liquidity purposes sooner rather than later. Therefore, the question becomes, all right, we have miraculously resolved it. Where is the pricing heading? It is simple to anticipate that it is a number with 2 digits. As a result, I believe that it increases to $10 and potentially $20 right away. The fact that central banks and governments are actually in the process of negotiating a deal to utilize XRP as a bridge currency for the world, a neutral asset that can be exchanged between central banks in order to transfer a certain type of fiat currency to another, is the wild card in my eyes. Well, if that is the case, then we need to return to the subject that we were talking about previously. It is necessary for it to cover all of the